Hey guys, all right, so today we have got the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer with Aloe Vera. No fragrance, no silicones, no added mineral oil, and vegan, okay? I think this is supposed to be buildable medium coverage, creamy texture with aloe. I want to say this is supposed to be sort of like a long-lasting sort of coverage. I don't know. So we'll see. Does it say if it's matte or not? Buildable medium coverage, creamy texture. So it doesn't say if it's supposed to be matte or dewy or whichever. So let's just take a look at it, shall we? All right. So thank you for a normal doe foot. Anyway. So I've already got foundation over both of my eyes. So we're not going to get like the biggest test of coverage, but I think we're going to get enough of one. Okay. So and this eye still has got that eczema, so we're going to see if it clings, what happens, how it works, how it reacts with the horrible patch of eczema that I have on my under eye. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and gently blend that. Okay, you can see it's catching right there to all that lovely eczema. Now, I feel like that was not much coverage at all. Like the only thing I feel like that did was highlight the dry patch, okay? I'm gonna put a little bit more right here, pretty dark right there. Now, sometimes it's sort of deceiving because I'm sitting right in front of the window and there's a ton of light, even though it's like really cloudy today, there's still a ton of light shining right in my face. So that sort of blows out some of your imperfections. That's why studio lights, people don't like studio lights because it blows out all your imperfections. Well, sunlight can do the same thing. So I'm gonna move in closer so you guys can get a better look, but that's why right here it seems really bright, like everything's covered. It may not be though. The texture seems very thin, and it also, it doesn't seem like there's actually a lot of pigment. I feel like there's not much pigment, but there's a lot of sort of cream substance to the product. So you guys can get a little bit of a, yeah, so I feel like I'm gonna put some just on the other eye and we'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll try to blend this side in with my finger and see what happens. That's about as much as I would put of any concealer. And a lot of times I'll put more, and then as I'm blending it, it just sort of blends away. And then of course, if you use a sponge, you're gonna get less coverage. And I don't know if I mentioned, I've got it in the shade 40 Shell, which is not the lightest shade. Okay, so I think what I'm seeing with this concealer is that it's looking very natural. And even like in my finger, like you can see a little bit of the product, but it's just not much. Like it's very, like it feels very moisturizing. It's like there's more moisture in the product than there is pigment, which is sort of like a two-edged sword, because if there's not enough pigment, then you won't cover. But look how it's blending in, like with my foundation, just like completely seamless blend. Okay. I don't think it's terrible. Let me just say that. If I could ever finish a complete thought, that would be just great. So you need enough pigment to cover, but not too much so that it looks chalky. For all my mature ladies out there, you may really like a product like this, especially if you don't have as much to cover as I do, because it's looking uncommonly natural. It's got some light reflecting off of it. It's looking very moisturizing. Again, the fine line for under eye coverage, especially if you need a lot of coverage, is enough pigment so it doesn't look chalky, but not too matte so it looks dry and crusty. Like this doesn't matter, like this would happen with any concealer, but I will say it's just feeling very dewy. This side is almost feeling like it's set down a little bit, but there's still a little bit of dewy sort of texture to it. This side still feels a little tacky. But I feel like this one is gonna be a winner for those of you who don't have that much to cover. Yeah, it's looking really pretty. This might be great for like no makeup days. I think the shade is decent for my needs. Bottom line, it doesn't have a lot of coverage. This is more of, I would say this is like a natural coverage. Still has coverage, but I don't think it's medium. It says what? Buildable medium coverage. I'll try and put some more and we'll just see how well it builds up. And this side, I'll just use my finger as well, just to see if maybe that's the trick to get the most amount of coverage, because for this eye, I don't feel like I was trying to like remove too much product. It just seemed like it blended in, you know, without it just looking like a chalky mess. Okay, so again, I'd have to start over from the beginning. Got something in my eye, y'all. To know whether or not the brush was the culprit that takes away the coverage. Because there, I mean, I feel like with a lot of the concealers I've been using lately, like this is looking like the most natural of all of them that I've been using recently. And it feels like it's just blending into my skin. But again, you can see that dry patch. So if you've got a dry patch, it's gonna stick to it. Like that's been primed and all everything to make it the least amount noticeable, but it's still, everything's clinging to it because it's a dry patch. So I don't know, I feel like if you're looking for a very natural coverage concealer, you may really like this. Again, Essence, inexpensive. I feel like I can put this on It's a Good One list. Because not everything has to be full coverage all the time in the way of concealers or even foundations. So if you're looking for a sort of lighter coverage concealer, especially like if you're a makeup minimalist, you may really like this one. Okay, so far as a first impression, it looks really good. I've got creases on my under eyes, so it's going to crease. And that would not surprise me at all. So yeah, so I feel like that is a good one, okay? I will wear it for the rest of the day. Of course, like I always do, I'll update any thoughts or whatever in the description or in the comments, whichever I get to first. So you guys can go ahead and thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell. Let me know in the comments, like if this is sort of product that you would like to try, especially some of you that have maybe drier skin. My skin is pretty combination, but at my age, it sort of acts like dry skin. I can't have anything that looks too matte or too dry because then it'll just end up looking too dry. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.